Oh my god. You guys are never gonna believe what happened. The stupidest thing in the world happened. Ugh. My cat jumped on top of my computer and hit the power button. Oh my god. Ugh. So it literally turned my entire computer off. So dumb. Like, I can't make this up. Like, it literally just happened. Like, I was talking mid-sentence, and then everything turned off. It's like, boo, 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 boo. And I'm like, the fuck? It was Bagheera. He was chilling on my lap, and then he just jumped off right onto my computer. Alright, so Target, green list. We like Target. It's the crux of it. Alright, so basically what's going to happen is... Hold on, I got to pull up. I'm in Crow right now. Let's take a quick look at this. Yeah. If I've been following my my crypto account, I bought into Crow around like right here, 35, and this thing's just been freaking bussin'. Like, we've been loving Crow. So, been trying to. I want this to hit about 52 cents, and that's where I want to take some profit. So I just wanted to see where it's at. I'm also in Litecoin right now, so I just want to take a quick look at that. While we're waiting for some peeps to get back, might as well take a peep at this. Alright, Litecoin I bought in around here, 270. Even though I called the breakout at 250, I was tied up, so cleared some funds and got in around 270. I like this for a run to 300. Potential run to 350 plus. So, alright, let's look at futures real quick. Oops, that's not what we want. Futures are following my fib down, unfortunately. So, what's my crypto account? Doing a spot challenge 1-for-1 for our new Crypto Pro plan that we launched. So, trying to see how that goes. No, I'm gonna do BGFE last. I know everyone wants it. We're almost done with the earnings, so I'm just going through. We can go back into TJ Maxx. Alright, so TJ Maxx, another one that is high on the list. Let's see here. TJ Maxx is... I think a lot of these report end of the week, so... What is TJ Maxx? Alright, let's just look at here. 17th, so that is Wednesday. Oh yeah, Wednesday pre-market. So they report with Target. So consolidating for a long time. Gap up, gap down, gap down, gap up, gap up, gap up. Alright, so overall I think I like it. I love the chart. Cup and handle. Like, this is like literally textbook cup and handle. You could probably even measure it, in my opinion. Yeah, right into the 6-1 or the 382. So as long as if this holds 68 this week, the flow is good. Probably gonna like this. Price to earnings is okay. We should be bigger. I don't actually love their stores either. They seem like I'm walking into like a. Like, their stores are set up like I should be paying $1 for all their clothes, you know? It's like, hey, someone donated these all to us, but we'll charge you lots of money for them. So I guess that's kind of what they're setting up for. But either way, they make money, good dividend. Everything's fine in terms of the chart. I'm going to add to the green list just because I like making money, and if I can make money off it, F it, why not? Guys, don't like shame people. I mean, if they want to like the video, that's fine. If they don't, they're going to kill a unicorn. It's fine. So, why do you think there's no unicorns around? Because no one ever likes the videos. Alright. Tyson Foods. You know, Tyson chicken farmers, they make chicken products. Rising Wedge, don't love it. Earnings, nothing there's. Well, do they even do anything? Oh man, that last earnings was. Okay, that was phenomenal. See, I love when all the earnings are gapped up and you have a huge sell off in earnings. These are huge, like, buy me moments, right? When there's no reason for it to sell off, but it's just huge profit taking. And then people get back in there and they're like, hey, it was too high last earnings. And we had this huge sell off. Like, for instance, like this right here, like this, what happened right here is what reminds me of Starbuck right here, right? Like, you had really good earnings, run, and it just sold off since then. So, hey, Husky, well, we got in at $25, so that's exciting. We've played Tyson's Food before on a newsletter, and it ran. It was beautiful. So I wrote about Tyson's Foods back when it was right here. No, right here. So we played Tyson's Foods from 70 all the way up to 80, I believe, if I was recalling. But um, I don't think they're gonna miss. Like, they're fine. Like, right, like everything on the chart's fine. Like, you could long Tyson's Foods. It's probably going back to 100, 90, 100. Like, it's probably worth $100 in my opinion. But the chart, recent history, I have to look at it going into it. When did they report? When did they report? When did they report? It says today. There's something wrong with this. It's just not right. Suppose I could use my bot commands that I make. The 15th. Okay, I guess they do have earnings tomorrow. Alright, so we're not playing it. Simple as that. Dude, their chicken nuggets are good. I don't know what you're talking about. VBLT. Ooh, okay. Earnings tomorrow. Alright, we gotta move on from that. Vips. Of all... Okay, so it did nothing. Things could gap down. Like, this is one I want to gamble on, even though... So, they've gapped down every time. Who's telling me about the vegan chicken nuggets that were super good? Was that you, Kevin? The what are the, like, 3D printed chicken nuggets or whatever they're called? Like, I need to order those and try them. I can't remember what those are called, but... Alright, so the one thing that worries me... I hate meat. Is the RSI so high going into earnings on this. So, I would like to see this sell off into earnings. To start the week. But... we'll see. I'm going to leave it on list. I'm not going to play it probably. Like, we're trying to bring this list down to like 5. Like, we want 1 every day, right? So the idea is you want to swing 1 to 3 every day, and then hopefully they hit. So Vips reports. Vips and Baba report the same night, so you can't. Unfortunately, you can't get a hot hand on it. They both report Wednesday night into Thursday. Alright, so... Alright, Warner Music Group. interesting. Warner Music Group's reports the 16th has a tendency to gap down, maybe? Yes. I had one that it gapped up on. It is they do publishing and recording of music. I definitely am not bullish on this. I'm throwing this in the red. Like, that industry is dying. Walmart! Big one. Said well last time. I mean, believe it or not, Walmart usually does well and goes up. Doesn't stay up, but it usually goes up every earnings. Like, it gaps up and then sells off, right? Almost every time. Almost every freaking time. Depending on if they sell off into earnings. So here's the nice thing they have going for them. They have, you know, they have a falling wedge into earnings, into support. They got strong support right here. So it is kind of a double top though. And they did sell off literally from earnings, like just crazy sell off last earnings. So for me, I mean, the RSI is so low. I would think they would, if they have a good earnings, like they should go up in my opinion. And they can, I mean, the revenue is pretty similar. Wait, they only, okay, I was gonna say they gotta be making tons of money. I think their price to earnings ratio is a little high for retail, so I'm gonna avoid this one. But if they do well, then I'm definitely playing Target. Like, if they do well, then Target's definitely gonna do well. All right, Petco. Let me look at what. Kevin, that is absolutely a true story. I definitely they are buying their own ships, by the way. Yes, that is happening. Alright, so let me look at the short interest on Wolf to see if it's still shorted. Yeah, BGFE is literally going to be the last thing I go through. I have like 2 stocks left, including my favorite one. So Wolf is still 17% shorted. So okay, so the revenue keeps going up, which is good. I mean, they say good news is going to go up, like, in my opinion. Like, got this huge short squeeze back then. It tends to go up on earnings. So, I'm going to green this one. This is one I'm super interested in. November 18th, so, you know, later in the week, so we can kind of take our time and make sure that the flow on this is good going into it. So, Williams and Sonoma. Ooh, alright. Now we're talking. Alright, man. Now we're talking. I mean, this has a inverted, or a tilted, not inverted, but tilted cup and handle. How does this keep going up? Ow! And they like to gap up on earnings. Say fucking less. Alright, let's go into the fundamentals. Can they support another gap up? Because it's looking like it wants to gap up again. Everything about this looks like it wants to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so if we're going to do a measured move, you'd be looking at potentially a move to 2. This could be a $20 move potentially off of earnings. And you think that's crazy, but went from 170 to 200. It made a $30 move last time. And so I don't know how they make money. The only time I've ever visited a Williams in Sonoma, it's in a mall and their shit's overpriced. I don't see anyone buying it. But I don't know. Maybe that's a different Williams in Sonoma. Nope. Oh, they own Pottery Barn, West Elm. Oh, they own all these other ones. Dude, West Elm, by the way, is the most overpriced garbage I have ever bought. Like, literally the most overpriced garbage I've ever bought. Like, we got plates for our wedding, and my Walmart plates looked better and lasted longer. I put those in my dishwasher and they fucking cracked. Never shop there again. And those dishes cost like $100 for 4 plates. It's ridiculous. That's probably why they make so much money, though. Because their margins are stupid. I like Go-Go, but Go-Go's kind of made its move, so I can't really get into it. Alright, Zim. Oh, Zim. This is my #1 shipping company. #1. They don't ever make gigantic moves, 45 to 49. But I expect the stupidest of stupid earnings on this. 40 to 47. Like, I think this could go to 60. I think this could make a $10 move off of earnings. Like, this is one that I may just buy. Like, even tomorrow, I may just buy it. Even though it looks like a Head and Shoulders, kind of. Like they don't report till... Zim report. Hold on. They report Tuesday night. So, I guess getting in... You have Monday, Tuesday to get in, right? So, let me look at their earnings for you. Like, I don't even care if they miss. They have a 2 PE ratio. A freaking 2.9. Like, they should be worth 10 times what they're worth now. But there's a very good reason for them to be worth what they're worth right now. Is that shipping costs eventually are going to come down. But not soon. Like, they're not going to come down until next year. So, wait for it. Here is what's going to happen. They're going to do one of two things. They're going to do what they did here and issue a special dividend. Or 2, they're going to issue buybacks. Or 3, they're going to do both. Because they're going to make an F ton of money this quarter and they need to secure their future. So this is an Israeli company. They just bought more ships. I invested in this a while ago. You could see this was one of my #1 plays when it hit right here at 33. I said this thing is going to 76. It is playing out beautiful. It's following my timeline as well. I think this earnings is going to accelerate it. You know, this was the biggest volume candle they had, and at the same time, the price on that volume candle acted as support. So this volume profile now is support. It is not going down. #1 play of the week is Zim. Super confident in it. Let's see. They made net revenue last quarter almost $1 billion. I expect them. Like, think of it this way. They're a $5 billion market cap, and they've profited just this last 4 quarters. Let's see, 900, 1.5. So they've profited almost half of their market cap this last 4 quarters. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, they have a little bit more debt, sure, but like if they could like, I don't know. I have that feeling that makes me feel good when I look at these earnings. Like, everything about it checks all the boxes for me. So, here for the Lambo. You got it, CP. Hey, all in Zim. This is not financial advice. I just like the stock. So, Alright, so that brings us to the last one. The crown jewel. Can I get some intro music, maestro? Please. Let's pour one out. I'm going to pour a bottle of 21-year-old whiskey right now for this talk. Alright, hopefully now you're all hyped. Please talk in all caps while we talk about BGFV, because this stock requires it! I'm telling you, this thing is going to go to the moon! I already have it charted, so there's not much to talk about, but I mean, it's been following my chart perfectly. But we'll talk about it. We can do a short interest update. We can talk about it. We'll go into it. We'll go from there. So, all right, let's go here. All right, so let me run the short interest on it real quick. Get you an update. I want my dividend too. Yeah, I'm gonna exercise all my shares and just hold them through the dividend. Alright, so this is from Ortex. This is their data. This is the most accurate data that... So, okay, so I'm a little... Let's talk about this. So, this is the data that I used on... what was it, like... a couple days ago, like... Let's look at it on the daily. Alright, so... What happened to me is... It was like... Yeah, it was like Wednesday last week. When it peaked at 42 and then went down to 36. Like, Ortex said the short interest went from 50 down to 30 in a day. And it freaked me out, so I actually sold my original position for like a stupid amount of money. Show you guys a little something here. Hold on. Want to see my year-to-date profits? One of them. And BGFV. I made a little money on this. So, something to ponder. The stock has been one that I was not uncertain of. Like, when I made the video, guys, for you when it was at 25, 26 bucks. Like, the earnings weren't terrible. They missed on EPS because they had like a weird inventory issue, so they had to overspend to get their inventory up, which is bullish if you think about it, which means they corrected their inventory issue. So they barely missed EPS, and they're still like even at their current price, they're still a 4 or 5 PE ratio. Like, I've talked about this. Like, fundamentally, it's $100 stock. There's nothing. There's nothing about it that says it shouldn't be more. Even if you went with a 10 PE ratio for their full year PE ratio, still be $100 stock. So they have a 2.25% or 2.2% dividend. So they pay a quarter on the 16th, and then they pay another, or they pay $1 Tuesday. So Monday, Tuesday are going to be the most. Yeah, I made 30 grand on it in my Robinhood account. So I'm still. I bought back in. I'm currently holding between accounts about 170,000 worth of BGFE. So I did not give up on it. I still have quite a bit of it. So still a rather large position. So I still think it's gonna go. And I think this weekend may have opened enough eyes where either one of two things usually happen on a doji like this. So if we were to say, hey, so either one of two things usually happen on a doji here. Either you get this gap up the next day like you did these last two dojis, or it's a reversal doji. So if we get the gap up tomorrow, I really want to, like, tomorrow, I'm going to drink a little tonight so I can sleep tonight, but I'm not getting too excited. I think Tuesday or Wednesday might be the day. If it goes tomorrow, even better. But I think Tuesday, Wednesday might be the day. Because they might see how it goes Monday. And then they might cover end of day. And then after hours Monday so that they don't have to pay the dividend. Like, that's what I'm expecting. Now, if they cover a day early, still good. I'll probably, I mean, if it goes above 55, I'm just going to take profits, to be honest. Like, I'm not going to hold $500,000. I'm not that crazy. But I do expect this thing. I don't think this week is going to be, like, if you look on the daily, like, it looks really good. You had this nice breakout. I think it's just the start. Like, if you were to go measured move, and you were to take, if you were to do like a measured move off of this, and you think this is the whole move from here to here, that tells us, like, for me, like 55 is where I want it to go to. But I will take higher. If it gives me higher, we'll go higher. So for me, it still has enough juice to get us to 100. I think it's gonna go there eventually. Maybe even more. But yes, let's get 10 million by next year. So Robert, here's what's interesting about them paying the dividend. So institutions, this has a pretty good institutional ownership, and these institutions have owned the stock for a while. So if they don't plan on selling their stock, here's what's going to happen. They're going to go, there's a very big tax implication on this that also people need to know about. And I didn't talk about this in my video because I actually wasn't aware of this. I found this out after. But when you're short a stock and someone pays the dividend for you, it's taxed as short-term gains. Now, if you own the stock and you don't sell it ever, and you get the dividend from it, it's taxed as long-term gains. So if the company pays you the dividend, it's taxed as long-term gains. But if you make your shares available to short and someone shorts them and then they pay you the dividend, it is short-term gains. So then you're actually taxed at a immensely higher tax rate. So let's say an institution owns half the float. So half the float is owned by institutions, roughly, I think, like, I can't remember, but let's say of the float, 20 million shares float, you know, half of it's owned by institutions and half of it's shorted. So if they instantly say, hey, I want all my shares back, that alone can cause a short squeeze. Regardless if the shorts want to hold through dividend, they may not have a choice. So some cool stuff to think about, which makes this something that says we're probably not done yet. I think 55 is our target this week. Anything above that we'll take, but 55 is going to make us all good money. And if honestly, if it squeezes, like my price target's always been that 112.50. Like I think 112.50 is my high target, about 110 to 112. So yeah, Robert, it's still something to be aware of. Like most people aren't aware of that, so it still has implications. How big of an implication it will have, we'll see. But the reality of it is one way or the other, people aren't going to sell themselves probably until after the dividend. You might see some profit taking tomorrow. We'll see, but I would like a gap up tonight, and then I can sell it tomorrow, and then get back in after the sell-off for the second squeeze, because there's going to be two squeezes on this, in my opinion. There's going to be a huge crash on the dividend, and then there's going to be a second squeeze after that, because not all shorts are going to cover, right? And so the second squeeze won't be as powerful, in my opinion. So you're probably going to see something like, and then you're going to see a bounce back up to 60. So maybe you see a squeeze to 75, a sell-off to 40, and then you see a bounce to 60. So you're going to see some violent moves coming up here. So it's going to be fun. Get your popcorn ready. Get your dicks hard. We're going to have some good fun on this, so don't worry. I don't really have anything else. I mean, it's kind of all I wanted to cover tonight. I think I'm going to go relax now. It's already late. So, hey, if you guys enjoyed this, like the video. If you don't, you kill a unicorn. So just keep that in mind. There's a reason we want the unicorns to come back. Alright, I'm going to release my favorites on Twitter and in the premium chat. So, in terms of like the parlays, I'll make a list of my favorites and throw them out. If you want the contracts and the up-to-date plays, we'll be talking about it in the Free Lambos chat. So, I'll put that data together and I'll release that probably tonight or tomorrow. Alright guys, thank you, have a great night, and we'll see you on the flip side.
How can I be down?